Welcome to another edition of Rivals. I'm Scott Mitchell. He's Jason Buck. Rivals has arrived. Now it's time to go to the NBA and Donovan Mitchell. And no, he's not my relative, but I am a fan of his. So his rookie season, Jason, Donovan Mitchell was amazing. He carried the Jazz into the second round of the playoffs. He was named the rookie of the basically last half of the season. He finished second to Brian Simmons, for the Philadelphia Phillies. And he was just incredible his rookie season. The Jazz had this resurgence. It looked like they were really going to make a run. They finally have gotten past 500 in their record. The first part of their season was absolutely brutal. Toughest schedule in the NBA. Donovan Mitchell struggled. Yeah. Everyone thought he was just, it's this trajectory, right?
Right.
And it's been a roller coaster ride, and it's been, maybe he's not really that good, and maybe he's not really a superstar, maybe he can't really carry this team. And now the defenses have figured out Donovan Mitchell, he's just kind of and more disappointing, and he throws the ball away all the time, and you're scratching his
He's
head.
making young guy mistakes.
But something happened, and probably 2 weeks ago, but it's really been happening all year. And that is, the Jazz have been fully invested in making sure that he becomes a superstar. And so they've let him grow. It's almost like they knew this was going to happen. He struggles, they still let him shoot.
Yeah.
He said his coach has been extremely patient, but not only his coach, the organization, and his other teammates. And you're starting to see the fruition of that patience or that vision
bearing fruit
from the Jazz organization.
Right.
And that's what I really appreciate, because I know how valuable having that organization behind you and believing in you.
Yeah.
And you were the 17th, right? 17th pick.
17th player picked overall.
17th player picked in the NFL draft in the first round.
Yeah.
And you went to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
How was your development with the Bengals?
It was nothing like that. I went in there, felt like nobody had my back. I was shocked, honestly, and part of it was being naive, from growing up in the culture I did in Idaho and then playing at BYU, Rick's College and then BYU, where you were treated with respect, and I had that, Donovan Mitchell treatment, right? BYU had my back, Rick's College had my back, and I went into Cincinnati, man, and I was just like, I was shocked because Sam Weiss, it was obvious from the start, did not like me and didn't want me. I mean, you could see it as clear as day, my first day, and I'm just like, what's all this negative stuff about?
Because you're the 17th pick in the draft. It's like, did you guys do your homework? Did you not want me on this team? I don't understand
exactly.
this.
That's what's going through my head. I'm like, why did you draft me? Right? And they didn't stay with me. And then, of course, you end up with a holdout with Mike Brown and Lee Steinberg that I had, this supposedly the agent of agents, and he screws it up. And, I'm in there. I come in the week of the first game. You know what that'd be like as a rookie?
Right.
I had 2 days of practice.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy. All right. I had Wednesday, Thursday practice, basically, and going to play in the Indianapolis Colts. Never been in the NFL before. And it was I was a shock. I go into the equipment manager. My shoes don't fit. My helmet don't fit. My shoulder pads don't fit. And I go in the equipment manager, Tom Gray. Do you know T. Gray? Where's he gone?
If it don't fit, we must have quit.
Buddy, I go in, I'm not kidding you. I go in and say, hey, my helmet doesn't fit. It's like doing this off my head. And he's like, you stupid mother blanking stupid rookie. You should have been here on time. You're in a holdout. Get your A out of the equipment room and don't ever ask me for help again. So I go out there, my shoulder pads don't fit, my helmet don't fit. I get down on my stance, my helmet's slipping down over my eyes. This is supposed to be the NFL. Right? I mean, it was such a joke. And I hear stories like this, and I'm like, wow, I'd have loved that because, to develop him.
It's like, why can't coaches, why can't organizations go, they see the vision of things? I can think, just off the top of my head, I think of like Brett Favre. Brett Favre was originally drafted by the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Jerry Glanville, right? And he thought Brett Favre was a joke.
Yeah.
And he called him, I think he called him country or something like that. And just thought he was kind of a buffoon. And Ron Wolf, Mike Holmgren go, we see something in this guy. This is the guy. This is what we can build our franchise around. And they brought Brett Favre there, and he was country. He was kind of not really ready to play, and he made major mistakes when he first started playing. And he threw
He's a
whole lot
rookie.
When I played
Right?
Brett Favre in the early days of his career in Green Bay, I was like, oh, good, we're playing Favre this week.
Yeah.
He's going to at least throw 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
Yeah.
But Mike Holmgren said, it's you and me, buddy.
He knew how to develop him.
We are going down together.
Yeah.
We're going to figure this out together, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'll give you another one. Steve Young.
Oh,
Steve Young's at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
absolutely. Never would have been a Hall of Fame quarterback. It would have been a nobody if his career stayed in Tampa Bay back at that time. Absolutely.
And Bill Walsh, San Francisco 49ers, said that's the kind of guy that fits our system. We can make that guy work. And off he goes. And off goes a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
And so is it that these players are just so great? Or is it because organizations have the patience, have the vision, the perspective to say, okay, we see what you are.
Yeah.
We recognize that there's a process here, and it's going to require some pain on both of our sides here
Yeah.
to really learn how to be a pro and to be a great player. We're willing to take that journey together. And I think those are the organizations and those are the players that really are fortunate and blessed that they get those opportunities.
Because they get that opportunity. They get the Bill Walsh. I'll give you a Bill Walsh story. So I'm in there, at this going in the 15th, 16th, 17th player pick. You could tell where you're going pretty much when the draft was coming in. And I was getting flown out to places like meeting with Parcells at the Giants and then flown back out to San Francisco and meeting with Bill Parcells and going out to the practice facility, sitting down and being interviewed by him and talking. And Parcells, I still remember, fits this perfectly. He just sits down with me and goes, you know what? He goes, you come in here, you'd be a great part of our organization, and I can see, it's taken a couple years to develop you to be the player that you can become. But he talked about developing me and being patient and taking a couple years to fit into a system. Parcells said the exact same thing to me when I visited the Giants. And I watched Joe Gibbs do it at the Redskins. Guys would come in first round. They didn't throw them into the fire. They were patient with them. They worked with them. They tried to develop them. And it was just, I'll tell you, you're very fortunate and blessed to get to a coach like that can see the vision of the player and work with you, especially when you're really young and new in the league and coming in, and versus getting, thrown under the bus.
Yeah. I mean, it seems obvious to me, and it isn't obvious because there are organizations, and there are a lot of them out there, they just say, well, we're going to throw you in the fire, and if you work, you work. If you don't, we're just going to find someone else. And there's no development.
Yeah, but you're sitting there as a first-round draft pick.
Like,
in my situation, I'm like, why did you draft me? Invest all that money.
I totally agree.
And you treat you like a dog, and they'd throw me a sheet of paper, say, know this for the game, you stupid blank blank, and wouldn't coach me. Wouldn't coach me. This is my rookie year. Just throw me a piece of paper and say, know that, you SOB, and then scream at you at the game if you didn't have your stance right or whatever.
So when you went home, did you cry?
No.
Oh, you didn't cry?
Oh, I was mad. Oh. I was angry.
You didn't cry at all? It was just like...
Oh, I went home just angry and ready to fight. And I went back every day and fought through it. It was a miserable experience, and I overcame it and got the starting job my second year in Super Bowl 23 and went on and had a good career. But, man, I would much rather have been right at Joe Gibbs from the start with the Redskins or a Bill Parcells, from the start or Walsh.
So when people judge players... Be careful how you judge them because so much goes into the success and failure.
You do not know what they're going through.
You really don't. You don't know what's happening. And a guy isn't all of a sudden good and then he's bad, or just because he's kind of bad in the beginning doesn't mean he isn't going to be good in the end.
Yeah, because they could be at a practice facility 8 hours a day just getting wrecked, right? So I'm really excited about what you spotted with Donovan Mitchell, and I think the Jazz have done a really good job with that.
I agree. All right,
him.
This round of rivals is over.
We're off to our corners.
He's Jason Buck.
And he's Scott Mitchell, the genius.
You can text Rivals to 65537. Go to all those social sites, like us, dial us in on that phone of yours. And until then, we will catch you soon.